Hi Huskies, and welcome to a video about the UC Activities and Awards section. Now, the great thing is that you're watching this video, which means that you are already interested in the UC, which is great. The University of California provides an amazing opportunity for your bachelor's degree and offers a great opportunity in case you're interested in research and you're interested in what it's like to go into a highly selective school like a UC. But with the decision to apply to the UC, you also might be a little bit nervous about the application. And one of those sections might be the activities and awards section. Now, you might be asking, what exactly is an activity? What is an award? How many activities and awards should I have? What if I have too little? What if the quality of my activities is not great? And also, how much time is it going to take me to actually complete the activities and awards section? So, you're at the right video because we are going to discuss all of that. So first, we're going to have a very quick overview of the UC application. Then we're going to actually look at some activities and awards drafts. We'll go over some tips, and then I'm going to check your knowledge to see if you learned what you needed to learn during this video. Now, the UC application. Here you see a map of all the UC campuses, and of course, Betty Bruin there in the corner. The UC application uses one application for all 9 UC campuses. You can scan the QR code here so you can actually access the UC application. And the application does require a fee. It is $70 per UC campus for domestic students and $80 for international or non-immigrant applicants. However, for domestic applicants, you might qualify for a fee waiver. And if you get a fee waiver, that means you can apply up to 4 campuses for free. For more information about the UC application, please visit our ELAC Transfer Center website, and that is located on the link below. There are several parts to the UC application. They're all listed on the screen here, but specifically, we are going to focus on the activities and awards section for this video. The activities and awards section is a really important section because it focuses on what you do outside of the classroom. The coursework entry, your academic history, that all talks about your grades, the classes you've taken, what your GPA is, what your major is. But the activities and awards really focuses on how you spend your time outside of the classroom, and that's what the UCs really want to know. So let's look at a preview of what the actual activities and awards section looks like, and then we're going to look at some drafts. So this is what the activities and awards section looks like. You will see that it explains a little bit more about how they want to know what you're doing in the outside of the classroom. And then you'll be able to add an activity, or you'll be able to select I have no activities or awards to report. You do not want to select I have no activities or awards to report, because if you do that, then you're actually losing out on an opportunity to talk more about yourself and to share some more experiences that you've had. So let's actually see what questions and what options there are for the activities and awards section. So these are the different categories. The first category is an award or an honor. The second category is educational preparation programs. The third category is extracurricular activities. The fourth category is volunteering and community service. And then the last category is work experience. And now we're going to look at each of these individually. So in the award or honor section, you're going to select the category of award or honor. You're going to list the award or honor. You're going to explain the level of recognition, whether that award or honor came from your school, your city or community, your state, or was it a regional award, or was it national or international? You're going to explain if the award was academic or non-academic. You're going to explain when you received this award. So that could be either in grades 9, 10, 11, or 12, or after 12th grade. And then you're going to explain what sort of eligibility requirements you met in order to earn the award, and what did you do to actually achieve the award. So this is an example of an award that maybe some of you might have even gotten already here at ELAC. So every year, ELAC offers several scholarships from their ELAC Foundation. And in this example, you'll see that it says ELAC Osher Scholarship Fall 2021. So that's an example of something you could type if you did earn this award, or if you earned something similar. The level of recognition is from the school. The type of award is academic, because it's based off of your GPA and your academic performance. when you did it, so it's after 12th grade, and then it just gives a brief explanation of the requirements for the award and then what you did to actually earn the award. So you'll see there in the requirements, it's a description of the scholarship and eligibility, and then for what you did, it explains that the student applied and then how they were able to earn the GPA required for the scholarship and then what the scholarship means to them by gaining this acknowledgement. The second category is educational preparation program. Here again, you have to select the category for educational preparation program. You actually have to select the educational preparation program from a list. So here you cannot enter your own program. You have to actually select it from a list provided to you by the UC. Then you move forward and you describe the program. You explain again when you participated in the program, how many years you've been involved, and how many months out of the year have you been involved, and then how many number of hours per week you've been involved and how many weeks per year you've been involved in this educational preparation program. Some of the educational preparation programs you might be familiar with here at ELAC are going to be Pathway to Law, which on the list is going to say California Law, or MESA, so Math, Engineering, Science Achievement, the Puente program, UCLA Center for Community College Partnerships, CCCP/SITE. Also, if you are in the honors program and expect to finish the honors program in spring 2023, then you would select UCLA Transfer Alliance program. And then if you are applying to UC Irvine and expect to complete the honors program as well, and you have a 3.7 UC transferable GPA, then you could select UCI Honors to Honors. These are just some examples of the ones that are within educational preparation programs. If you don't see yours listed here, it doesn't mean that it doesn't exist, but it has to be from the list that's provided to you from the UC for this specific category. So here's an example of the UCLA Transfer Alliance program. You'll see that there is a description that was included. It explains again when you were involved in the activity and then how many hours per week and how many weeks per year you were involved in that educational preparation program. The third category is an extracurricular activity. Here again, you have to select the category, which is extracurricular activity. You have to name the activity. You have to give a description of what you did, including highlighting any leadership roles and sharing what you learned through that activity, when you participated in the activity, how many number of years, how many months within those years, and then how many numbers of hours per week and weeks per year. Going back to bullet number 5, numbers of years and months involved, that actually means if it was 3 years and 3 months, 3 years and 6 months, or if it was just 4 years, 0 months. Here's an example of an extracurricular activity you might have participated in. So the ELAC Extended Opportunity Programs and Services, commonly known as EOPS, is a program that many of you probably have been involved in. And it gives an explanation here of what EOPS is, and it explains here what the student, when the student participated in EOPS, and again, how many weeks per year and how many hours per week. Now, because in EOPS, you have to do counseling, you might be going to tutoring, you might be participating in other activities. It's kind of like an average. So 32 weeks per year would be like the fall and spring semester, and then an average of how much time you spent towards completing the requirements to maintain your eligibility in the program, including counseling, tutoring, etc. The fourth category is volunteer and community service. Again, here, you select the category of volunteer and community service. You have to give the name of the organization, the program or school or group that you volunteered for. You have to describe the organization, program, school, or group. And then you have to give a description of what you did, including highlighting leadership roles and sharing what you learned through your activity. You have to explain when you did it, how many years and months you were involved, and then how many number of hours per week and number of weeks per year that you were involved as well. So let's look at an example of volunteer and community service. In this example, you'll see here that the name of the organization is the Casa 0101 Theater, or Casa 0101 Theater. It gives a description of the organization. It explains what the student did within the organization. It explains when they did this activity, and also how many weeks per year and how many hours per week was done in the activity. The last section will be work experience. And I know many of you have been working the entire time that you've been here at ELAC, or maybe you just started a job, or you used to work and maybe now you're not working. Either way, this is something that you should put down if you have had any work experience. So again, you'll select the category of work experience, the name of the place where you worked. You'll have to describe the company or organization, your job title, your job responsibilities, when you participated in this work experience, how many years and months you were involved, how many hours per week in the school year and in the summer term for this work experience, and then you'll have to indicate whether or not you're still employed and start and end dates if applicable. Here is an example of a student who worked at In-N-Out. So there is a description of the organization, which is In-N-Out, the position for the student, which was store associate, their responsibilities while they were store associate at In-N-Out, when they participated in the activity, and then it explained that when they participated for the regular school year and summer, and it explains that the student is still working at that job and their start date. If they were no longer working there, then they would have included an end date. Now that you have an idea of what is covered in activities and awards, let's go over some tips. So the first thing is you have to pay attention to the character count. In fact, when you are working on the UC application, if you end up entering too long of an answer, the answer will actually be cut off and you won't be able to complete your entire entry. So you have to pay attention to the character count for each of these sections, right? So some of them have 250 characters with spaces, some of them have 350 characters with spaces. And on the screen, you see that there's an example of how long that entry actually looks like. It's actually not that much space. So if we go back to the work experience section, here you'll see that for description of the company or organization, it's 250 characters, and for job responsibilities, it's 350 characters. So it's actually not that much space. So you have to be very specific in your writing and concise in your language in order to make sure you get the point across and ensure that what you're sharing is meaningful. Some other tips and reminders is that you should primarily focus on post-high school activities. There might be some activities that you've participated in throughout high school and now in college, which is great, but you really want to focus on your maturity and your involvement now in college. Everything you submit is subject to verification. So if you get selected for verification, you might have to actually provide proof of these activities, so make sure you're honest. You can also include other extracurricular activities like caregiving, including caring for siblings, caring for any dependents if you have children yourself, elder care, which is caring for maybe a grandma or grandfather, or even a parent. And then also beyond your caregiving responsibilities, think about any sort of research you might participate in. Maybe you have your own YouTube channel. Maybe you really like going out and bird watching. Whatever it is that you like to do and where you spend your time outside of school, it says a lot about you. So consider adding that as an extracurricular activity. Any place that provides you an opportunity to write deserves the utmost attention. So you might even consider, now that you know the different sections, what's involved, and the character counts required, you might even consider creating a Google Sheet or a Word document where you can start entering your activities. So that way you can edit them in that Google Doc or in that Word document, and then you could just copy and paste it over to the UC application, and you already know for sure that you have the correct character count, everything is edited, and then you're just copying and pasting it over. As I mentioned before, make sure you're paying attention to character counts, and you are paying attention to the fact that it includes spaces, you're watching your grammar, and you use I statements when you're describing your involvement in these different activities. When you're applying for transfer, you have to have a lot of time management, right? So you don't want to keep this activities and awards section to the last minute, because it's very important that you share as much about yourself as possible. So part of time management in the application process is actually getting an idea of like how long the application is going to take, including the section of activities and awards. And a great way to do that is by time telling. So on this slide you see here, you'll see that towards the left of the screen, it's areas that sometimes take a little bit less time on the application. So the About You section, where it's asking you about your name, your address, stuff like that. And then when you're maybe selecting your campuses, you probably already know what campuses you want to apply to. But to the far right, you'll see the areas that take the longest: academic history, reviewing your application, activities and awards, and personal insight questions tend to take the longest on the application. So you want to make sure that you're dedicating enough time to those sections and you're not leaving any of those to the last minute, because that's when errors are made, or maybe you might forget to mention something. So let's do a pop quiz before we end our video. You'll see on the list here to the left, there are different activities and awards, and then we're gonna match them up with the correct category to the right. So you might wanna get a pen and paper and actually do that now. So let's look on the next screen, what's what. So a barista at Starbucks would be under work experience. If you're involved in the Puente program, that would be an educational preparation program. If your poem was selected by the English department newsletter, that would be an award or honor. If you're caregiving for your grandmother, that would be an extracurricular activity. If you're eighth grade class president, that's actually a trick question. You shouldn't have any activities prior to high school, and in fact, you should focus only on college activities. If you have been an ELAC Foundation Scholarship recipient, that award or honor, that's what that is. If you are an ASU Scholarship recipient, that's also an award or honor. If you are vice president of the Associated Student Union, that's an extracurricular activity. If you're a community tutor, that's a volunteer community service. Pathway to Law program is an educational preparation program. A member of Diverse Ability Support Programs and Services, that's DSPS, and that is an extracurricular activity. And then member of EOPS, of course, is extracurricular activity. Now that you know a little bit more of activities and awards, I hope that you feel more confident in your ability to complete the UC application, and I wish you the best in the transfer process. For more support and information, please contact the Transfer Center. Thank you.